Signage. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you doing?
Good. We're standing in front of a couple of your digital signage specialized engineered solutions you guys have.
Right.
Before we get into some of the specifics, what was the kind of the leading factor of you guys going down this road, talking to consultants, talking to end users, talking to the integrators?
Absolutely. There's been a concerted effort amongst Chief and the other Legrand brands to engage with digital signage stakeholders and decision makers and everyone within that ecosystem with our solutions and consultants group, specifically digital signage. And what they did was they identified gaps in either our offering or the market's offering to help provide 100% of solutions for those digital signage projects. So our standard product fulfilled usually 90 to 95% of what they needed, but we want to make sure that they had everything they needed from a trusted mount supplier.
Yeah, so in other words, you're talking with the actual people who are designing these things and putting them in, saying, hey, here's might be one or two things that we need.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's talk about those one or two things.
Sure.
You got some freestanding stuff, we got some straps here. What are we looking at?
So right here is our structural column adapter. Before its arrival, there hasn't really been a good way to display mounts along these columns, and they're popular traffic areas in arenas or stadiums where there's a ton of traffic going by. It's a great spot to put digital signage, but there isn't a good solution yet. And so what we wanted to do was leverage our existing mounts, of which you can support 7 of our current mounts, attach it to a structural column, typically concrete. You can cut in the field, so you don't have to know the exact dimensions of those mounts. And it does come with this nice aesthetic cover that can be painted. So it provides a good aesthetic, a clean approach to mounting displays in those high traffic areas.
So you can cut this in the field to determine the length of the circumference really of the column itself.
Exactly.
Okay. Very good. And you also got some freestanding units as well.
Right. Yeah. Right here we've got our bolt down single column display. Really nice for those kind of wayfinding applications or signage applications in the middle of a window. Just this really sleek single column bolt down structure that supports displays in landscape or portrait with some tilt as well and height adjustment.
You also have a very interesting display mount, has cabling from top to bottom.
That's right, yes. We've got our cable floor to ceiling mount, supports displays up to 130 pounds. We also have a back-to-back accessory, so you could add one on the inside of the shop if the initial display is facing mall concourse or the street. You can add a display on the back. You can also add a lateral adjustment accessory. So for those storefront applications where you're refreshing it every couple months, it gives you a lot of versatility with the displays in those applications.
And lastly, let's talk about the Fusion back cover and the use case for that.
Sure thing. In most cases, if you want to cover up that back aesthetic of the display with all the cables and media players and everything like that, you'd have to custom fabricate a sheet metal box around it that's specific to that mount or that display. What we want to offer is a very standardized solution that has a softer aesthetic and can be adjustable based on the display size and the mounts you're using. So what it does is it's a framework that's very lightweight in case you're on the ladder and doing the install. It's a framework that you would actually kind of stretch a fitted sheet around. And so it's a very soft look, it's a machine washable cover, and it provides a nice aesthetic on the back regardless of the display that you're using.
All right, Tony, somebody wants to get their hands on these mounts or find out more about it, how do they do that?
Come to legrandav.com or check out our booth at 1312.
All right, we're Tony from Legrand AV. My name is Tim Albright. For more information about us and more videos from the show floor of DSE 2019, go by the website, avnation.tv. It's avnation.tv.